Hello, and welcome to a new series on my channel called Man Dude Reviews. I have been putting off writing the script and making this video due to general laziness and a Minecraft addiction. So anyways, back on topic. I want to rate games from 1 to 5 stars based on how the game actually is, and give some general thoughts and criticism on some areas of games, starting off with episode 1, Mario Kart Super Circuit. This game was the third installment of the popular Mario Kart franchise, and the first Mario Kart to be on a handheld, released on the Game Boy Advance in 2001. So let's see if this game deserves solid praise, or if people see it through the nostalgic goggles. Let's get on to it, shall we? I feel like I should probably make mention of the fact that Nintendo didn't even make this game, they only published it. The team behind this game was Intelligent Systems. You know, the guys known for Fire Emblem, WarioWare, and Paper Mario. I'm going to be covering what this game has to offer, mainly the tracks and just the general gameplay. I plan to rate each track from 1 to 5 stars based on the uniqueness they bring to the table and how fun it is to race on. Now, for this review, I'm going to be playing on 100cc, because I'm no baby, but also not a hardcore veteran to this game. But, before we get into the meat of this game, we gotta talk about the characters. It's the exact same roster of wacky Mario characters we know and love from Mario Kart 64. So, the amount of characters are the same at 8, but also adding the random option, which I don't think has ever come back, which is really cool to see. I'm kinda sad that Koopa did not get brought back in Super Circuit and 64, but it's not that big of a deal to me. One thing I love about the character select screen is if you press L, you can throw shells, and if you press R, you can hop. They didn't really need to do that, but they still did anyways, which is really cool. Since this is the last sprite-based Mario Kart game, I'm going to be playing Toad, because that's just who I like. I love Toad. Now to get into the tracks. Mario Kart is split up into cups, which each have 4 tracks in them, instead of 5 like Super Mario Kart. Anyways, let's just start this game already. Enough of the chit-chat, you know what I mean. Alright, up first is Peach Circuit. This track is a basic course, there's nothing really special about it other than Peach's castle being in the background. Like, it's got a few good turns, coins and items, that's it pretty much. I guess there's trees with fruit too, and grass, but that's all I got, man. 2 stars due to it being basic. I understand you need some basic maps, and that's fine. It's good to give your players a good way to get a hang of the game's controls. Speaking of which, the controls are just okay. All I really need to say is that they are slippery as butter a lot of the time. Keep that in mind for when I get to a lot of the later tracks in this game. Now moving on to Shy Guy Beach. I have to say that I love this track way more than Peach Circuit. Beach tracks are a lot of fun in Mario Kart games, and I have to say the Shy Guys in the back make this track even better and more interesting by shooting cannonballs onto the track. It's an all-around good track with things like umbrellas and palm trees, just making the track feel more immersive. Like, wow, I'm playing on a beach track. I love the section of the track where you have to hop from island to island without going into the water to lose speed. And I love the end of the track having more options on which path to take. Overall, I have to give Shy Guy Beach a 5 out of 5 stars for being a major step up from Peach Circuit and just an all-around vibe. Next up is Riverside Park. I think jungles are just fine and the theme is pretty solid. The water is out of the way for the most part, so I don't even hate it being here. The bridges are cool and unique and add a lot to the track. I love how it introduces jumps in a fair way. My favorite section of the track is the last corner before the jump. It's a fun turn to take almost every time. Overall, I give Riverside Park 3 stars. Not as good as Shy Guy Beach, but still a step up from Peach Circuit in a lot of ways. And finally, first of many, Bowser Castle 1. Super Circuit really likes Bowser a lot to give him so many castles that he needed to literally number them. Anyways, terrible jokes aside, Bowser Castle 1 is mid. It's on the smaller side of tracks in the game, being a really basic introduction to the hard-ass turns of the later Bowser Castle tracks. 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's fine. The only 2 tracks that really stood out to me in the Mushroom Cup was Shy Guy Beach and Bowser Castle 1. I really hope that's not my Mario Kart Wii nostalgia coming out of me, thinking so highly of Shy Guy Beach. The Mushroom Cup is easy enough, but if you struggle to make it past anything here, you will most likely struggle to make it past the Flower Cup. I, of course, am a gamer, so I, of course, got first place in the Mushroom Cup, because it's not that hard. Speaking of struggling, the Flower Cup is up next. When I first started playing the game, everything seemed easy enough, but oh, just you wait. The Flower Cup is gonna have a few problems. Mario Circuit. Another basic circuit track that is fine. It has grass, trees, road, dirt, coins, and items. And the one U-turn that was actually decent in Mario Kart 8. But I'm going to try to let the remakes control the ratings of the tracks in this game. I like the offshoot at the end with a boost. 2.5 out of 5 stars. I don't really hate this track, it's just bland outside of the ending. Speaking of items, I haven't mentioned them yet, have I? So, this game has no new items. Everything here was in Mario Kart 64. There are a few items that got cut. The triple bananas, golden mushroom, and the fake item box. The golden mushroom probably got cut due to it being hard to control and way too overpowered. The triple banana, no one really knows why it got cut. My best guess is that it would make front running really easy in this game. And the fake item box has always been iffy on whether it comes back or not. Boo Lake. This track was really hard the first time through it. Boo Lake is the first track to feature the ability to fall off the map. They make this really obvious by the first 2 jumps at the start of the track, followed by a rough turn after all that speed. Other than that, the track features the blocks that fall when you come in contact with them, like the ones from Ghost Valley tracks in Super Mario Kart. I tend to fall off once or twice now, but when I first played this track, I suffered really hard. Boo Lake gets a 1.5 out of 5 stars. It's not even a lake, and it's not very fun to fall off the track. The extra half star is due to it not being as hard once you've already played it, but it's just not fun, and honestly, more stressful than anything else. Next up, Cheeseland. I love this one concept-wise. The music is a fucking bop all around, but the 2 jumps suck because if you fail them, you have to drive all the way back around. Like, who thought that was a good idea? Honestly, Cheeseland is solid, but the color choice sucks a lot in my opinion. Like, why such a bright yellow to the point of being almost white? And the fact they had to change the coins to be orange is even more funny. Also, yes, I know that original GBA didn't have a backlight, and that's probably why this color choice is bad. Sorry about the rant. Cheeseland is overall solid track, getting 3 out of 5 stars. Oh me, oh my, there are rats in my land of cheese. The rats are awesome little guys. And finally, to end the Flower Cup, Bowser Castle 2. This is another Bowser Castle track. I can't really say much about this other than Bowser Castle 2 feels like what Bowser Castle 1 should have been. It executed things like the jumps way better and even threw in some grades to make it stand out even more. It's a better track than being a really small track with nothing interesting like Bowser Castle 1. This track gets a 2.75 stars out of 5 stars. The only good track in the Flower Cup was Cheeseland, and even that isn't the best track, making the Flower Cup really bad when compared to most of the other cups in this game. Overall, I got first place, even if I messed up on Bowser Castle 2. Now on to the Lightning Cup. After playing it, I have to say that it is the best cup in the entire game. Honestly, fight me on it, I don't care. It's the greatest cup Mario Kart Super Circuit has to offer, hands down. Now, on to explain why it's good. Starting off the Lightning Cup, we have Luigi Circuit, and in my opinion, it's the best circuit track in the game. My reasoning is that it has the most going for it when you compare it to Mario Circuit and Peach Circuit. The Luigi blimp in the background is great, and I'm pretty sure this was the first track in Mario Kart history to have rain. The rain also gave the developers an excuse to reuse the idea of oil spills, but they changed it to puddles to fit the theming. The item box next to the puddle is a great way of adding high-risk, high-reward to the track's design. Overall, 4 out of 5 stars. Next up in the Lightning Cup is Sky Garden, the best track in the whole game, for real. It has some of the most chill vibes there is for a Mario Kart track. It really stands out as much as a certain other track that I'll get to later. But back to Sky Garden, I have to say that the use of the vine bridges is a really cool way of connecting the clouds you drive on. Not to mention the fact that the blimp from Luigi Circuit is here, making a return as a background element. And if you know me, if it's got Luigi in it, it's automatically good. I really like the small corner cut jump that's got an item and how it lines up really good into the next turn. And if you're gamer enough, you can just hop from cloud to cloud to get even further ahead of the pack. And the music, man. It's so good at capturing the chill vibes it goes for. Honestly, Sky Garden gets a 5 out of 5 stars, even better than Shy Guy Beach. Speaking of Shy Guy Beach, we got a similar track up next, Cheep-Cheep Island. This track features the best art for a track so far, having Donkey Kong looking off into the sunset, which is such a mood, and I don't know why. Also, I guess this could be taken as a reference to the Donkey Kong Country TV show from the 90s. I forgot to mention that instead of the boring track previews like in Mario Kart 64 and other Mario Kart games, this game gives you some nice art instead. Some of these tracks have really cool art, and a lot of them ooze with personality. For being such a simple kart racer, it really gives some nice personality to the game. Man. Anyways, after all that art talk, let's move on to Cheep-Cheep Island. It's kinda like Shy Guy Beach in a lot of ways, due to a good portion of the track taking place on a beach, obviously. This track even reuses the music, which I don't mind since it's a slappin' song. Cheep-Cheep Island takes place in the evening, which gives off a really nice vibe. There's a giant Cheep-Cheep in the background, jumping around. What a funny guy, jumping around, not paying his taxes. The crabs are back, as well as palm trees, but spicing it up by adding little birds in a section that takes place on a dock. Or is it a bridge? I don't know. The wood thing is a split path, as well as some tighter turns to make it harder. I would say that this track is a pretty solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now, the last track in the Lightning Cup isn't my favorite, but it's still pretty good. Sunset Wilds isn't a bad track by any means. Hell, it's a lot better than getting into the Bowser Castle, and for the first time, not a Bowser Castle. It's got one of the more unique things about it being the fact that as the race goes on, the time progresses, starting in the evening and going into the night. It's got Shy Guys and tents, and there's totem poles, and running into a tent slaps a Shy Guy on you, and they take some of your coins. It's got a lot of boost pads and tightest turns, nothing too bad at all. 4 out of 5 stars. Now that the Lightning Cup is over, and we still got 2 more cups, I feel like I'm getting repetitive, so I'm gonna save you all some time by shortening some of these track reviews. Snowland. It's fine, my favorite snow track in the game. This has things like ice and snow. Who could have guessed? 4.25 stars out of 5 stars. It's got snow and ice. Ribbon Road. It was better in Mario Kart 8 by a long shot. I can't even play this track without thinking about playing it in 8. Overall, the turns feel sharp as fuck. 3.75 out of 5 stars. It's mid. Yoshi Desert. I'm not a huge fan of desert tracks, but the Yoshi in the back is cool, giving it the name of the course. The Oasis is something I guess, adding grass and a nice green color palette to the track. The worst part about this track is the stupid piranha plants in the sand that suck you in. It feels unfair at times due to how the turns are set up. 2 out of 5 stars. Bowser Castle 3. Finally, a good track. The best of the Bowser Castle tracks by far, given the fact it's just 2, but actually good. And given personality due to the storm and bluish hue it has going for it. Honestly, this track is great. I will always love it for the section with all the jumps and the item box behind the thwomp right after. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now, after every other cup, we can finally talk about the special cup. This is the first cup that gave me a real struggle. Lakeside Park. This track is mid. The volcano goes off during the last lap, which is really cool. Some of the turns are hard, and there are 2 turns that are a little unfair, requiring me to brake 100cc and not jump over the barrier and get sent back to Turnertail. It's just okay. 2.75 out of 5 stars. What could be worse than Boo Lake? Broken Pier, of course! This track is utter dog shit when it comes to being a playable track, with the holes everywhere. This is not the hardest track in the cup, and is honestly just a stressful mess that can be handled by going slow. But still a bitch to players who are not good at the game, or even decent at the game like me. 1 star out of 5 being the worst of the new Game Boy Advance tracks. Bowser Castle 4. It's a Bowser Castle track, alright. I like the Mecha Koopas, and it's definitely the hardest track of the Bowser Castle tracks. I originally wrote this as really positive and great, but after playing this for gameplay, I have to say, this track is brutal with how tight these turns are. 3 out of 5 stars. I hate how I said they nailed this track, because this track was not nailed right at all. And the only thing they nailed was making sure I hit the walls. If you couldn't tell, I'm a little upset after playing this track for footage. And finally, to conclude the Special Cup, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's got a name that is infamous to the Mario Kart series. It's Rainbow Road. Honestly, this track is super hard, and you really have to let go of the A button to not fall off. I was impressed as hell watching this track get destroyed in seconds by world record speedrunners. This track features thunderclouds that shock you, shrinking you and making you lose speed. The only walls this track has is at the start, and the rest of the track basically has no walls, but has mostly bouncy walls that you can use to skip sections of the track with. Another hazard in this track is the falling stars that make you spin out. I love the music on this track, and the colors are really good. I adore the fact that Bowser's Castle from Paper Mario is flying in the background. It's such a neat detail to another game I really enjoyed, and makes the games feel more connected. I have to say that Rainbow Road gets a 5 out of 5 stars. The reason why it is lower on my list than Sky Garden is due to the fact I suck at this track, and suffered for like 2 hours grinding this cup out just to get a dumb gold trophy. After multiple attempts, I can say that I finally won first place in this cup, having a lot of struggle on Rainbow Road. Now, this would be the section where I mention the Super Nintendo tracks, but this video is already long enough without them. Although I do have interest in making a part 2 covering them if this video does well enough. To sum things up, Super Circuit is as underrated as it gets for Mario Kart games, unless you count the arcade games of course. The controls definitely have a learning curve to get used to, and some of the tracks are better than others. I'm giving this game 2 out of 5 stars. I recommend playing this game at least once, but you really don't need to play this game unless you are a diehard fan of Mario Kart or something. Heck, I only played this game because it's the only traditional Mario Kart game I haven't played yet. Honestly, sticking through it made the experience all the better for me. But for real, fuck Brook and Pier, that track can go fuck itself. Honestly, this game is really good for the first Mario Kart on the handheld, and holds up pretty well today. I would say that it is better than Super Mario Kart at least. Thanks to Chloe for providing the background music, and my friends. Mainly, one for constantly reminding me while I'm playing that I have skill issues in the game. If you liked this dumb game review and want more stuff like this, consider donating your soul to my channel by subscribing, as it fuels me to make more videos. I worked incredibly hard on this video, and it's one of the first times I'm really editing something. I had a fun time working on this video. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you. Really, thank you. Alright, have a good day. Signing off. Bye-bye.